Hello everyone, and welcome back to your weekly watch guide. I'm Brittany McLean, and as always, I'm joined by my colleague, Jessie Campagato, who is a CBC Sports writer of The Buzzer, which is a newsletter that keeps you up to date with everything you need to know in the world of sports. And we're here to do just that going into the weekend. Now, Jessie, there's a lot of winter sports that we're gonna have to keep a close eye on going into the weekend this week, but there's one of the highlights. I think it happens to be on the Alpine side.
Yeah, Brett, we better start with Alpine because there's a lot going on in the sport right now, especially on the women's side where there's a couple big storylines we've been following this week. So first off, Lindsey Vonn confirmed on Wednesday that she'll start her comeback at the age of 40 with a couple lower level races in Colorado this weekend. And also Mikaela Shiffrin, the American star who broke Vonn's all-time World Cup wins record a couple years ago. She announced earlier this week that she's going to miss a few weeks after puncturing her abdomen in a pretty nasty spill last weekend as she was closing in on her 100th career World Cup win. But the focus this weekend is actually going to be on the men. So they're at Beaver Creek Resort in Colorado for a downhill on Saturday and a downhill today, Friday, and a Super G on Sunday. So for people who may not follow Alpine, downhill and Super G are known as the speed events. They're the fastest, most exciting, most dangerous races in the sport. So they're the real fan favorites. And we've got a couple really good Canadians to watch. So the first is Cameron Alexander. He took bronze in the downhill at the most recent World Championships. And there's also Jack Crawford, who won gold in the Super G at those same Worlds. And people might also remember him as a bronze medalist at the 2022 Olympics in the combined, which is the half downhill, half slalom race.
Yeah, Jessie, I love how you describe it as fast and dangerous because we had a chance to catch up with Jack Crawford recently, and those were two words that came out of his mouth as well.
It has a lot to do with just desire and willingness to risk, trusting the people around you and just trusting yourself.
So that's just a little teaser to get you excited, but that full feature on Jack Crawford is on our YouTube channel, CBC YouTube. Now, that isn't the only winter story though that we want to watch this weekend. There's a pretty big weekend in figure skating as well where we have some Canadian stars back in action.
Yeah, Brett, so it's the Grand Prix final, which is one of the most prestigious events in the sport. So obviously the Olympics are number one, then it's the World Championships, and then right after that's the Grand Prix final. And it's actually a lot tougher to get into this event than those other two. It's only for the top 6 in each discipline, which they determine based on a season-long point system over 6 regular season events. So Canada qualified 3 entries for the final, but unfortunately we lost our best one. That's the reigning pairs world champs, Deanna Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps. They had to pull out this week because Deschamps is dealing with an illness. So that leaves us with 2 entries, and they're both in ice dance. So I'd say the best shot at a medal is from Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. So they've won a medal at 3 of the last 4 World Championships, and they're ranked 3rd on the Grand Prix Tour this season. Should be a pretty good competition between them and the American duo of Chalk and Bates, who are the reigning world champs, and the up-and-coming British team of Fear and Gibson, who are undefeated on the World Cup Tour this season.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Jessie. Of course, if you do happen to get snowed in this weekend, there is lots to tune into on your television. Starts with figure skating Saturday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Then that men's Alpine that we spoke about Saturday and Sunday at noon. And one other thing to keep an eye on, breaking, we have Red Bull BC1 World's Finals. That'll be Saturday at 3:30, and it features Canadian Olympic champion Phil Wizard. If you're not already subscribed to The Buzzer, make sure you search The Buzzer CBC, pop in your email, and that will come to your inbox every weekday. Jessie, we really do appreciate your insights and hope you have a great weekend.
Thanks, Brett. Enjoy the weekend.